Hello, everybody, and welcome to Early Access Podcast, episode 76. I'm your host, Angelo, and thank you for stopping by again. This episode's kind of important because, thanks to a friend of mine, I was able to get my hands on a... sorry, microphone was in the weird place. It's picking up a lot of noise. So I was able to get my hands on a Pip-Boy edition of Fallout 4. If you already know, I have a Pip-Boy edition of Fallout 4. This version is a PC version, though. So what I plan on doing is giving it away. I think it'd be nice for Christmas. Hold on one second. This thing will not lock back into place. There we go. I think it's a cool thing. I've been doing the podcast for 9 months now. And I think it's a good way to promote the show and try to drive a little traffic to the show. So it's an investment in myself and the show and you guys. So you guys are, the reason that I'm even considering the contest and why I went out of my way to get this second Pip-Boy. I could have bought it from him and then flipped it on eBay, but instead I decided to give it away. I think it'd be a lot cooler. Christmas coming up, the fact that it's sold out, and plus it's really cool. Fallout's turned out to be a great game. I've played so much of it so far, so I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to give it away yet. And it's going to be an online contest where one sub to the YouTube channel is going to gain an entry, that kind of stuff. Follow on Twitter is going to gain you an entry. There's going to be 4 or 5 ways to gain entries. A couple of them, like tweeting about the contest, is going to be a daily thing. It's going to run for about 3 or 4 weeks. I'm going to try to end it a week or so before Christmas, so I can try to get it to you by Christmas time. Especially if you're not, trying to win it for yourself. If you're trying to win it as a gift, I'm going to try to end it like 10 days or so before Christmas, just to get it out to the winner. Now, the problem that I'm running into, though, is I haven't decided if I'm going to set an age requirement for it. Fallout 4 is a mature game, which is 17 plus here in the United States, and I don't know if I should set a similar age requirement to enter the contest. I think I'm going to have to. I'm probably going to have to set like a date of birth check at the beginning just to make sure that you're of age. The contest is also going to be limited to within the United States because I'm already shelling out the money for the Pip-Boy, so it's going to be very expensive to ship it outside the United States. So I apologize to anybody, like any listeners that live outside of the United States. It would just be cost prohibitive to ship it outside the States. Plus, I'm pretty sure there's some rules as far as like shipping things, like giving things away to different countries because their giveaway laws and all that stuff are very strict. So just so I know that I'm not going to get any flack down the line, I'm going to make sure I keep it in the United States. And I just I apologize in advance. I will try to figure out something to do for listeners abroad or outside of the United States. Hopefully it brings some traffic to the podcast and to the website. So I just want to thank you guys for listening, for the past 9 months, and February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 9 months. Counting on my fingers because I'm bad at math. 9 months going into month 10 coming up here in October. And it also wants me to point out, like, hopefully in the future we can get people, if you want to see more contests like this, especially big ticket items like this, I would love to continue to give stuff away like this. However, it is expensive, but collector's editions of things are pretty cool. So consider supporting the show through Patreon, or with Christmas coming up, or whatever holiday you're celebrating this season. If you're buying anything, please consider purchasing it using the Amazon banner at the bottom of earlyaccessmedia.com. Click through that link. If you're buying anything off of Amazon, that really does help out the show. Little bits help here and there. I see a couple dollars trickle it in every once in a while. But I'm excited to give this away, and I'm just really happy that I was able to get this item. They're sold out everywhere. They're like $200 something on eBay now, so it's gonna be a really cool thing to do to give it away. But other than Fallout, I played 25 hours before I actually got to Diamond City in Fallout. If you've been following Fallout or you're playing Fallout, Diamond City is like the first legitimate quest that you get after leaving the vault. I spent about 25 hours in the wasteland before getting there. Turns out that was probably a bad idea because I kind of just wandered around a lot, and I probably could have just barreled right into town and gotten on with some of the more important story quests. But I ran into the Brotherhood of Steel, and I started doing that kind of stuff, and then I would get into a building and start doing some stuff, and I just kind of get lost, and I love that game. Yeah, that's what I've been playing the most of. But I also just got done playing this game called Wild Terror. I keep saying Terror. Terra. Wild Terra. Excuse me. So Wild Terra is an open world. It's a massive multiplayer sim game. It reminds me a lot of Ultima Online. If you ever played that, it's like this. It's a simple art style. It's it's an older, I guess it's kind of 16-bit, 32-bit. I'm not sure what it is. But, you're modeled characters, so it is 3D-ish. But it's the top-down, three-quarter view style game, point and click. But it takes a lot of stuff that was in like a game like Ultima Online and gives you all the crafting stuff that you would get now in an open-world survival game on top of it. So just think of any open-world survival game, but put it into an Ultima Online shell. And that's exactly what this game looks and feels like. I played for about a half an hour, and I recorded it. It's up on YouTube now. It feels like every other open world survival game, whereas when you start, you're still kind of confused. You don't know what to do, and you have to spend a lot of time trying to build your base and get all started like that. The biggest problem I ran into was just the menus are confusing. It's hard to figure out exactly how to make different items. I was able to figure it out. I was able to, in a half an hour, I was able to build my first building, build a bed so I can set my respawn point, killed an animal, built my starter weapon. So it was actually pretty smooth compared to other games of this style for your first 30 minutes. And I even died like 10 minutes in, so it only took me about 15 minutes to gather up the stuff that I needed to get started like that. I'm sure when I log back in, somebody will have destroyed the front door to my house, killed me, and taken all my things, but at least I was able to get a house down with a respawn point. So it's currently in early access, and it's not on Steam that I saw. Let me check. Wild Terra. No, yeah, it's not on Steam right now, but you can gain access to early access. If you go to playwildterra.com, you can get in for as little as $10. You gain a key to early access immediately. So if you support the game anywhere between $10 and $100, there's 6 different bundles that you can buy. You get a different title, premium membership, and gold. I'm assuming the gold is for an in-game shop of some sort, but I couldn't figure out exactly how that worked. I will be playing a little bit more of it, though. This is going to be the first time in a while that I'm going to play another half an hour or so. This game, I'll probably play a little offline, and then I'll jump in a couple hours in just to see how it progresses. However, for an MMO, though, it feels dead. There's animals everywhere. No creature, no people, though. I saw a lot of buildings. People have been there. They have built stuff, clearly. But for some reason, they were nowhere to be found. I don't understand where they went. I don't get it. But they just weren't there. It was weird. So I didn't run into anybody. Maybe the world's that big, or maybe I just picked the wrong time to play the game. But, just couldn't Just couldn't run into, didn't find anybody. It was weird. Sorry if the audio just dipped off there. I adjusted the, yeah, I don't know. I adjusted something on the mic, and I saw the wave file drop down, but hopefully it also got rid of the fan on my on my PC that tends to kick on and make a bunch of noise. But yeah, Wild Terra, go check that out. Play wildterra.com. It seems pretty good. I also have a key to give away for that pretty soon, so keep an eye out for that. So other than that, there's a couple games that came out. I actually wanted to mention this because I thought it was kind of fascinating. Today, technically, the 18th, Everquest put out its 22nd expansion. It's called The Broken Mirror. I know it's not an early access, and I know it's not indie, but EverQuest is one of two of like the oldest MMOs out there. However, it didn't go the way of World of Warcraft. It went the way of like RuneScape, where it just the graphics still look exactly the same. Although I know they have updated over time. It's $35, which I find absurd. I don't know if anybody even plays this game anymore. But it is a free-to-play MMO now, so I guess I can see that. I wonder, EverQuest player count. Let me see. That's somebody that did that, 2012. Let's see, EverQuest on Reddit. Alright, well, to put it into perspective, the EverQuest subreddit has 3,700 subscribers, and only 11 people are hanging out in that thread right now. So, give you a good idea of how many people play that game. I just found it fascinating that it was still warranting expansion. So there's got to be people playing it and buying it enough for them to continue to make expansions for it, considering there was an EverQuest 2. And they were working on EverQuest Next, which I haven't heard anything about in a while. Speaking of early access games. All right. So this next game, I actually have a key for it that I got from my PR guy, and I'm excited to check it out. It's currently got 4 reviews. All of them are positive. It's $11.99. It is in early access, and it's called Utopia 9: A Volatile Vacation. Now, this is a twin-stick shooter, it looks like. Top-down twin-stick shooter. Very cool-looking game. Like, the particle effects look really nice. The colors, it's very bright. God, excuse me, I keep coughing. So it says, you play the most recent guest on Utopia 9, the best vacation planet in the galaxy, but when you arrive, nothing is as promised, and it looks like you're fighting your way to get out. It's listed as an indie action game, but it looks really charming. The art style is like, cartoony and bright and fun. The audio, which I'm not going to play just in case it gets flagged. It's fitting. The whole game looks really neat. It just came out, and I'm excited to check that out. So keep an eye out. I will be posting a video of this game pretty soon. I didn't realize it came out the other day, but I just got my key today, so or yesterday. So I have to go check that out since it just came out. So keep an eye out for that. All right, so the next 2 games I grabbed, one's early access and one's just an indie title. So the first one is the early access game. It's called Evolution. I went through all the early access games, and I just picked out a couple that I liked, that I thought were interesting, and that was this game in particular. Seems really interesting. So it's got 1 review. It's positive. It's $5, but it's 10% off for $4.50 until the 24th of November. So it's a DNA simulation game. I can't really figure out exactly what you're doing from the video, but from the way it looks, you are controlling different molecules and kind of like creating and evolving these molecules into higher and more complicated structures. So I guess you're trying to survive in each world. I really don't know what it is, but it just looked fascinating. I like these kind of games, like a top-down point-and-click simulator game. It looks really neat. I don't know. I have to check it out. It's only $5, so I'm going to try to get in touch with them and get a copy, or I'm just going to buy it myself just to take a look at it. And the one review isn't in English, so I can't read that. I can't even see what that's all about. But it looks pretty interesting. Go check that out. Links in the show notes. All right, so the last game I got is this game called Hound. Now, this is an indie game. It's got 3 reviews. All of them are positive. It's $9, 10% off until the 24th for $8.09. Now, this is an indie casual simulation game where it's basically you and your dog. Your dog's on a leash, and it's an exploration game. It's a little sim and strategy, according to the description. It looks really cool. Again, it's a top-down game, cartoony art style for this one, where you're just kind of walking around with your dog and exploring and finding loot. I like loot. I don't know about you, but it just looks cool. It looks charming. I love the concept of just like an casual exploration title where you're just kind of walking around and just finding things. I like that everything doesn't have to be hectic and just shooting and hardcore all the time. Hopefully it's got some puzzle elements in it, but it looks pretty cool. It's called Hound. You should go check that out. Again, links in the show notes. Links are always in the show notes. If they're not, tweet at me and let me know. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Again, I want to thank you for listening to the show, and don't forget to keep an eye on the youtube.com/early access podcast, and on Twitter at early access PC, and even Instagram, early access on Instagram. Over the next couple days after this, I'm going to be doing a video to announce the launch of the contest. I'm supposed to get it tomorrow. So fingers crossed that I get the Fallout 4 Pip-Boy edition tomorrow, and I can get everything set up and probably get it out by the weekend. So keep an eye out, ear out, whatever, for that. Worst case, it'll be I'll do it on the next episode of the podcast. But other than that, guys, thanks for listening. Same shit, patreon.com, early access. Check us out there if you want to support the show monetarily. Amazon banner at the bottom of earlyaccessmedia.com. Click through that. Use that whenever you buy anything. That really does help out the show. But until next time, guys, have a good weekend, and I'll see you for the next podcast.